Hello and welcome to Newsworthy Stories with Jacqueline Jimenez. You can read it right there. Newsworthy Stories Media Challenge breaking news. This just happening now. Listen, sometimes you just have to practice what you preach. And I have been sharing with you, if you've been following me at all, you know that I what? I try to tell you how to use your phones. I try to tell you how to use your iPads because these items are so powerful for your media marketing, for you getting your messaging out because your phones and your iPads go with you wherever you go. Now, I say this all the time, but you know what? This week, or actually the last few weeks, I've actually had the chance to do it. I've actually had the chance to take out my phone, not necessarily for a client, but just around my own community, right? And call the media, practice what I preach. Not only send, not only email the assignment desk, because if you're going to send the media information about your business or information about the story, you need to first ask for the assignment desk. So I hope you have your pen and paper, write down assignment desk because every newsroom, television newsroom, has an assignment desk. And the assignment desk is the person who assigns the reporters or sends the stories to the producers for them to consider what they're going to put in their show. So, if you want your story to be seen or heard, or someone to look at the video that you sent, you have to email them. And if you don't know their emails, it's really simple. You call the number. It's best if you actually call the number. Go look up their phone number on, Google it, whatever your local ABC, NBC, CBS, and Fox affiliates are. It's always the best place to start. And if you PBS, if you have a story that PBS would be interested in, and also your digital media, find out the emails for the digital media stations in your area that cover just your community. And what you do is once you get your information, you put that contact information first. Phone numbers, cell phone numbers, not like some office number. News doesn't have time for that. Put the cell phone number, email, website so that they can look you up and all the information you want to put in there about your story. And then send it to the assignment desk and call them up and say, can I have the phone number or the email to the assignment desk? And then send your information. Okay. So let's start there, first of all. This week I had a couple of chances to shoot some video, weather video in particular. And why would I ask you to send weather video to the newsroom? They love it. People love weather video. That's why you have so many stories on weather. And they don't always have time to go out and shoot it because they're shooting other stories more than likely, but they love weather video. Weathermen love, or weather people love weather stories. So this week I went out and we had some really bad storms here. I mean, we're in Florida. I'm used to, thunderstorms, rainstorms, but I was like, wow, we're trapped, in the store. We couldn't get out. And I was like, you know what? Let's go for it. We ran to the car. It was soaked. We got drenched. And I'm driving down the street and I'm like, wow, there's a lot of debris in the road. I'm like, wow, this is really severe lightning all around me, right? And so I pulled out my phone because I started to see trees down. I'm like, wow, I wonder if a mini tornado went through here because literally trees, and I mean huge pieces of debris were in the road. And I was like, this doesn't seem like a normal storm. We need to get inside, back home. But of course, I stopped long enough, literally 11 seconds. I saw a tree uprooted, pulled out my phone, and I shot this video. You know, it's just tells the picture or the story by itself. Tree uprooted. If I shot my street, you would have seen, debris all over the street. You pull out your phone for television. Always hold the phone horizontally because it fills up the whole screen. If you hold the phone vertically, you always see that black on both sides, and it really looks like an amateur shot. It try to avoid that as much as possible. But that's one weather picture. Another reason you want to send weather video is that it gives you an opportunity for the media to get to know your email. So if you're shooting little stories around the community, could be festivals in the area, it could be, you know, a dog lady walking like 20 dogs, there's all kinds of weather, on a beautiful day or, anything kids in the park. Now, we try to avoid kids, but kids in the park, if you will, just playing stuff around your community. Or if it has rain and there's flooding in the street, think of the things that when you are uh, going around your neighborhood that raise your eyebrow and you go, huh, that's not usually there. Oh, wow. I wonder if somebody else is interested in that. You know where you could go? I'll tell you where you can go. Man, I tell you, my next door, they have that next door app. Wow. They tell you everything that's going, you know, find out what's going on in your neighborhood and share the story. There's a great little restaurant here, and I keep saying I'm going to go and shoot video of it. And it's called Las Spadas. And I don't know if they have a Las Spadas near you, but Las Spadas there's this hoagie shop, and they will take that hoagie and as they're making it, they literally throw the meat like down to the next person and the other person catches it with the bread and it's just amazing to watch. I definitely now that I've mentioned it, I have to, get that video for you. But it's things like that that you see on a regular basis. News will never find that story. You must call them and you must tell them yourself. You know, that's one thing that news really doesn't have anymore. They just don't have teams of people going out. And that's why now is the time to try and get your story told because the media really is looking or getting used to citizen journalists, people like you and me are going out there. Although I am a journalist, I've been a news producer, for 30 years, and I have been in journalism that long, over 30 years, really. But I am not a photographer, but I'm hired to be one all the time. Why is that? Because I worked with great videographers for 30 years. Or I won't say the whole 30 years, right? But I've worked with photographers at least over 20 years in the newsroom, and I know what they shot because I would have to go through the video and pick the stories and pick what shots I wanted, but I know what they would shoot. And so, because of that, I know what to shoot with my phone. And so, what I do is I teach people how to shoot that video so that they can create content for their social media, especially businesses. I have a huge heart. If you haven't figured it out, I have a huge heart for business, particularly entrepreneurs, um, small to mid-sized businesses, but of course, corporations. This works on every level. But most corporations have a media team to shoot it. However, a lot of times they're not really shooting what's needed. They're shooting commercials. And people are, you know, if you have a choice to turn off a commercial, you are, or you're gonna tape it and tape a show you like, and then you can scroll through the commercials. It's nothing personal. Commercials need to, they have a purpose. For news, commercials pay the bills. That's why it's really, more difficult sometimes for businesses to get coverage because if news is covering your business for free, then what does that say to the advertisers that are advertising? And so you have to understand how to actually identify the news story in your business. The reason why I wrote how to get television news coverage is easier than you might think is because most people don't understand how to identify a news story. They don't know what a news story looks like to news. They think that, oh, well, news only likes shootings and murders and politics and weather. They do like weather, and what's the other one that is always out there? But these stories are easily accessible to them. News 5 o'clock comes at the same time every day, and news is live. And so they have to have stories that they can actually cover. And so when you want news to cover a story, you have to hand it to them really on a silver platter. All the information has to be there. Now, I stumbled across a different weather story. And this is a totally different. One was okay, tree uprooted. But here's another one that what we call a kicker, which is usually at the end of the show because it kicks off the show, right? And so I came across this story as well, and I'm going to play a little bit for you right now, and then maybe more at the end of the show. We'll kick it. We'll kick off with it. But it's really a group of high school students that have formed a garage band, and they call themselves HB Boulevard. And I came up on them uh, in their garage. And the first thing I saw was there were like 8 fans blowing on them, because they're in Florida and it's been very hot, hotter than usual. And here, these guys, they're trying to get ready for a performance that, they have an opportunity to play somewhere. And here they are with 8 or 9 fans. I wasn't really counting, but I was like, listen, guys, let me shoot a video of you guys playing, you know, and the fans just blowing on you. And I'll send it to the media and we'll just see if they're interested. Now, I did the same thing with that video of the uprooted tree. And I also sent a clip from this band. So take a listen first. Okay, that's a little taste of HB Boulevard. And they call themselves HB Boulevard because HB stands for Heron Bay. It's a community in the Parkland area in Florida. And if you live in the area, it's well known, area. So we'll hear a little bit more from that tape later on. But in both of those instances, I received emails from the media uh, asking, about more information. Um, I don't know if they covered it because honestly, I didn't go back and look yet. And sometimes when they do cover it, it's on digital media. They put it on the digital media. And so sometimes that takes a day and sometimes 2 days for you to see it on their site. And so I have to go back and look. But if the main thing is they responded. And the reason why they responded is not just because I sent the email, but I followed up with a call. You have to understand that the news desk receives hundreds of emails every day and people sending story ideas. But there's only a few people, going through all those emails. And so it's very easy for them to miss it because, they're paying attention to breaking news, they're getting lineups ready for the producers and the news directors and everyone else involved. And so you have to keep that in mind when you're sitting in. You really have to leave your ego uh, outside when you're gonna try and get a news story because they are focused on getting the news on the air in time, and they have to have enough news to to fill the entire show, and it needs to be engaging. I tell people that a reporter's primary job is to tell the story, but a producer's primary job is to sell the story. We're responsible for the headlines. Who's going to, s- say which story, the angle that story is going to come from. Of course, there's input from the reporters as well, but it is our job to sell that story and to make it engaging to the community, to really look for those teasable elements that will draw people into the story. And so for all these years, for 30 years, it took me a while until I really got outside of the newsroom and I started to really study my craft and what I had been doing for 2 decades or over 2 decades at that time, that I realized I sell stories. I'm a story selling specialist, you know, at the end of the day and everything that came with it. And so not only do you sell stories, but when you put business in it, because I had some very unique opportunities, especially with Neighbors for Neighbors. You hear me talk about Neighbors for Neighbors. Well, I was their field producer, and for Neighbors, they would bring together those in need with those who could help. So they would bring together those in need with a story. They would tell you what the need was, and then often a business would come alongside and help them. And so then there would be a follow-up story. And that's kind of where you want to be. You want to be that follow-up story. And so you kind of have to look for stories where you can tie your business into what news is already covering. That is the easiest way for a business to get coverage, is to be able to tie what you're doing to what news is already covering. And it's very rare that I will have time to do this kind of a talk with you. But I really am trying to drive home. If I had a choice, I would be on the rooftop yelling and screaming at people to do this. It is something you're already doing. You have your phones with you. You take pictures at all the events. You just need to stop clicking on photo and click on video. Start interviewing the people around you. And if you need help trying to put a story together, I can help you. And but the thing is this. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. I haven't been trying. When I wrote this book, my whole goal is to teach you how to do it. It wasn't for me to necessarily go around and produce all these stories, which has been fantastic, phenomenal, the best of both worlds. I get to teach it, I get to produce it. I'm sharing what I'm sharing now, but the magic, is really in the workshops. It's teaching your entire team how to use your phones to shoot the right videos. So your marketing, if you have a marketing team, and which I'm finding not only small businesses don't have any form of marketing whatsoever, but mid-sized businesses don't have a marketing team either. They might have somebody who posts things for them. That is not a marketing team. That is someone, I don't know the exact word, but that's marketing, but it is not someone who is, they need the better content. And if you create great content for someone who knows where to post your story and knows how to post and get many people to watch it, now you've got a winning combination. But if you've got someone who's just posting stock photos of your business, you are missing out on money and missing out on loyalty. from the people that you serve. You could become a community leader because you would be able to have you get personal branding through those stories. And so take the time, go to my website, newsworthystory.com. I know I'm Newsworthy Stories, IES, but if you read the ticker there, my website is newsworthystory, STORY.com. Go on there and check out the different workshops that I hold. If you go, and it'll take you to Eventbrite. If you click on upcoming workshops, it's going to take you to Eventbrite. And if I don't have that workshop up, then send me an email and say, I'd like to see more information about the different workshops. And I have like all the workshops, listed. And so I'll send it to you because I want you to understand how important it is for you to take either the introductory workshops or any of the master classes. Um, I have a specific master class that's just for shooting video yourself and press releases because the way I have been doing it, because I'm a producer and I was the one who was receiving all the press releases in the newsroom, I know what a producer is looking for. And so I send press releases that producers want. I send press releases that assignment editors can read quickly and get it to the producers just as fast. And that is what I have to offer that somebody else might not have. It's insider knowledge. This handbook you can read in 40 minutes. It's designed to be read quickly because news is simple. It is not difficult. It is not hard. But you have to know what news can actually cover and what it is that they need and what you need to do to get it covered. Now, the bigger thing of that, you say, "Oh, I don't want a news story." You, as a business, you are the newsroom on social media, and your and social media is your audience. Okay, so you're the newsroom in business, and social media is your audience. So everything that news does, you should be doing, and that's what I teach you in that handbook. And I really want you to go on. I've got these great workshops. Come and find out what it is and how to use your phone and your iPads to generate content. You're already doing it, you're already there. I'm not looking for you to come and be here all day long. I want to teach you so that you can do it. The challenge. Oh my goodness, I've just gone on, haven't I? Okay. I'm just like, can you tell how important this is? Listen, we are generating news coverage, which is generating awareness, which is generating opportunity after opportunity after opportunity. So, what I want you to do in the challenge is go shoot weather video and send it to your local news stations. And after you send it, call them and say, "Hi, I'm Jacqueline Jimenez." Don't say I'm Jacqueline Jimenez, say whoever you are, and say, "I just sent you weather video from the email newsworthy stories at blah, 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 blah," right? Or whatever your email is. And then say, give them a very short, they don't have time to talk, 30 seconds. You got 30 seconds ish to tell them, I have weather video of an uprooted tree. I have weather video of these great high school kids who have put a garage band together and they wanted to practice so bad in this heat that they've got 8 fans blowing on them. Here's a great video. It could be even a kicker. And they'll be like, "Ooh, they know they know what a kicker is? Well, who do you know, right?" So try it out. And then when the media calls you, or you have to be looking for your email. You got to respond back because they might say, "Well, who should I courtesy?" Well, you say you give them your name to courtesy your name. If you don't want, you don't have to give them a courtesy. You don't have to courtesy your video, but if you want to, you could courtesy your video. So now, don't ask them to put your business on it. They're not going to do that. but just courtesy your name, your first and last name. That way you could show people, hey, that's my video. It's really cool. Okay, when it happens. Do that, and then I want you to show me, upload it to YouTube or whatever. I need to see the video. I want to know, or send me to the website, of the video that you shot, or give me the story behind it, or while you're taking the video, video yourself showing me which video you shot, and then I want to see it when it runs on the news. Yeah, that's a little easier for me to verify because I don't want news that's not really happening. So when you shoot that video, whatever weather video you shoot, I also need you to show me a clip of you in front of that, whatever it is you're shooting, so that when it runs on the news, I will know that it's you. That's my media challenge. I want to see some news get on the air. And if you get a better story, send that too. It doesn't have to be weather video, but I want to see you use your phones and generate some news coverage, because I know one thing for sure. Once you do it, you'll want to do it again and again and again. It is like an addiction. Okay. Once you get news coverage, you're going to want to do it again and again, especially when you see how easy it can be. Thanks so much for watching. And now I'm going to play the rest of my little high school band, garage band, HB Boulevard. I've got your back. I'm supporting you, and I'm looking for you guys to go big. So, of course, if you need a band, you're in South Florida, think of HB Boulevard. Uh, they may fit the bill. Thanks for watching Newsworthy Stories with Jacqueline Jimenez. Have a great day.